mental space. If you ever need me, just call. I'ma come running, give it my all. Love is love, God wins. Keep your vibrations high and watch how your blessings.
Oh, that's the thing I made, I think. But I didn't realize I would send it to you.
What is?
I don't know. Wait, unless. I thought it was.
It's something new that they added. Australia, what's going on with you?
You like to talk a lot of smack. You spy and lie, you boast, always gotta do the most behind my back. When you're faced with all the facts, you switch right up, you don't remember all of that. Showing off like you're in a pageant, bragging on about your status. Little do they know there's a real dark method to your madness. All the hate you brew inside, tragic. From a monster to the victim, play the role so well, dramatic. Is that it? Moving on. Now it's time for me to work, wave my magic wand. You're no match for me or the power of my tongue. Let me show you how it's done. I can too terrorize you for fun. Demon be gone. You're a narcissist, can't hide it when it shows. Tied down by your traumas and now they won't let you go. You're a narcissist, a reaction is your aim. I'll just give you nothing, watch you lose at your own game. You're a narcissist, it's always your way. It's your lane, doesn't matter what I try to say. Decline, you want what's mine. Try to bring me down, try to take me out, but you can't steal my shine. You always wanna start a fight. No rules, never can you lose, no clue to why you always gotta be right. Tell me why you're so uptight, if it's all for show. Gotta let you flow, gotta let you go. Can't dwell on it your whole life. Get back, I don't want your static. Nothing but a drama addict. Those repeated cycles, I have studied all your habits. But the way you stare at me, you savage. Try to pawn your pain on me, return to sender with that package and trash it. Moving on, now it's time for me to work, wave my magic wand. No more dragging me through the dirt, teach you right from wrong, run you like a marathon. Once that truth turns to karma, you're done. Demon be gone. You're a narcissist, can't hide it when it shows. Tied down by your traumas and now they won't let you go. You're a narcissist, a reaction is your aim. I'll just give it nothing, watch you lose at your own game. You're a narcissist, it's always your way. It's your lane, doesn't matter what I try to say. Divine, you want what's mine. Try to bring me down, try to take me out, but you can't steal my shine. Try to take my soul, try to switch them roles. That destiny swapping, mocking, blocking shit. It's a no-go, all that ego doesn't fit. Only care for the glam, only care for the glitz. Way too grubby, but you wanna give gifts. Indian giver on a power trip, acting like you rich. All the money in the world wouldn't change your attitude. Love bomb if you want, won't change my point of view on you as you laugh and you flaunt. Take your exit too. You're no match for the highest with authority over you. True, now back to the money. Say you built the hive, forcing me the honey. Don't wanna be exposed, so you're acting all chummy. No one is around, now you wanna act funny. Bummy, pick a personality, many burn bridges. Friendship fatality, you see it one way. I see duality like calories, burn away them dark principalities. You're a narcissist, can't hide it when it shows. Tied down by your traumas and now they won't let you go. You're a narcissist, a reaction is your aim. I'll just give you nothing, watch you lose at your own game. You're a narcissist, it's always your way. It's your lane, doesn't matter what I try to say. Decline, you want what's mine. Try to bring me down, try to take me out, but you can't steal my shine. You're a narcissist, can't hide it when it shows. Tied down by your traumas and now they won't
We got some new songs added. But we're gonna play it after we. Well, okay. Let's play one of them now.
Speak to my soul, speak to my soul, speak to my soul, speak to my soul. Wake up to the take up, time for a shake up. Everything is changing, there's a real wake up. Mr. Wise is way ahead, go back, listen to what he said. Truth being told, expose the lie. The brand new sky is something you can't deny. This is the reason why. Ooh, my soul's on fire. My soul's on fire. It's like the light moving up higher. My soul's on fire. On fire. Turn up, it's getting hot. So learn up or burn up, we're being taught. The past, future, in the now you will understand if you allow. Mr. Wise will talk you through. He's gonna take that walk with you. He can give you the notes, let your spirit reply. You will feel why. My soul's on fire. My soul's on fire. It's like the light moving up higher. My soul's on fire. On fire. Hey. Mr. Wise, can you say it again? Louder for the ones in the back. Mr. Wise, can you play it again? You keep my soul on track. Mr. Wise, can you tell us again? Tell us everything you know. From the beginning to the very end. You make my spirit glow. Speak to my soul, speak to my soul. Speak to my soul, speak to my soul. Speak to my soul, speak to my soul. Speak to my soul, speak to my soul's on fire. My soul's on fire. It's like the light moving up higher. My soul's on fire. My soul's on fire. My soul's on fire. It's like the light moving up higher. My soul's on fire. On fire.
So, if you haven't heard, the dangers of fireworks, then this is a story about the dangers of fireworks and karma, right? So, this is karma wrapped up in a story of the dangers of fireworks, right? Now, allegedly, and I say allegedly because in this reality, we can't tell what's real and what's not, right? So, with everybody doing this clout chasing and everything like that, and him just now, I think within the last week, we seen 3 different things of, for extra, right? First, we seen him take a gang of people up to No Jumper in order to confront someone who was like 120 pounds soaking wet, right? Then we seen him try to do a high kick and bust his ass. And now he done blew half his. Well, I mean, I don't know. The look at the picture. I ain't seen no video of it, but the look at the picture, it shows. I mean, I think he only got like a pinky, right? They blew like a bunch of his fingers off and stuff. And it gets worse, guys. It gets worse because according to No Jumper, I guess one of his friends, in the process of him losing his hand, someone else face was in the mix of it. So one guy lost half his face, or extra lost his hand, allegedly, according to No Jumper. Let's hear him say it, and then we'll talk about it, okay? Let's hear him say it, and then we'll talk about it, because, see, right after the 607 Unk situation, right after all of that, that's what happens. This is what happened after the whole 607 Unk situation, right? So you got the 607 Unk situation, right? And 607 Unk telling you, like, you know what I mean? Like, okay, I guess he won't be shooting no fades no time soon, but ironic. He probably pulled it back like this to throw it. Like when you light something, you just got to throw it. You just got to get it out your hands, right? He probably pulled it back to try to throw it. And wherever he pulled it back to, it probably just went off back here, He probably lit it and tried to pull it back, which created more wind. I really don't know. Really can't say what he did, how it went wrong, but according to Whack 100, spoke on it. No Jumper spoke on it. A couple of people spoke on it. I looked it up. I can't really find no video of it or anything like that. I don't know what hospital to look up to see if people came in with injuries, but he's probably going to get a charge out of this, him, if he did light it and blow up somebody's face or whatever, because on one of his reels, he's saying, you know what I mean, that he's going to blow somebody's face off with it, right? So he's saying that this is his intention. He's walking around with these two like M80s in his hand or something. So let's listen to No Jumper and how he explains it. Can you guys put a 1 in the chat if you guys can hear it, so that way I know you guys can hear it.
Like a shopping center where they're all hanging out. It was like a short that I posted yesterday. I'm doing a high kick thing. And he basically had a handful of fireworks, and he was about to light one off. Didn't actually get out of his hand. Apparently, those fuses burn a lot faster than you would think. And blew his hand off. And there's more bad news, which is that the true extent of his injuries, I don't think has really 100% been revealed yet. I'm not really at liberty to say exactly what, but definitely there's more to come in terms of like all the stuff that has happened to him as a result of this. But also, I'm not sure 100% who the friend was.
You might have to turn your volume up.
His friend allegedly like blew half his face off, which I haven't seen any evidence of this or whatever. But yeah, that's all we know right now. He's in surgery right now, off pain meds for like the first time in his entire life. And I'll keep you guys updated, but that's all we know right now. So fingers crossed that.
Nah, oh, yours all the way up. Well, I had the volume all the way up on the thing and the what you call 'em. We'll play it back again in a second. Let me make sure. Hold on, let me see. Let me see now. Is it louder now? Hold on.
4th of July, he was with one of his friends. 4th of July, he was hanging out with a bunch of
Is
his
it louder now?
friends in front of like a shopping center where they're all hanging out. It was like a short that I posted yesterday, him doing some high kick thing. And he basically had a handful of fireworks, and he was about to let one off and actually get out of his hand, apparently.
Okay. Yeah. So what do you guys think? Like, do you guys think this is like partly karma? Let's say this is true and he did, lose his hand, right? Do you think this is karma, based off of that 607 Unk situation with the whole backdooring of 607 Unk? Do you think this is like, partly karma? I know stupid's going to be stupid, you know what I mean? So people do dumb stuff all the time, but with these incidents being so close, it's kind of showing us that, when you got bad intentions, it's coming back to you that much faster. Like this is an example of having bad intentions for somebody. Like he had bad intent, and put himself in operation for that bad intentions when he took all of those goons up there to No Jumper in order to confront 607 Unk, right? He had nothing but bad intent, right? He's out there, I'm gonna get the body, all of that stuff, right? So if this did happen, right? If this did happen, because me personally, with the way the internet is and all these people chasing clout, so on and so forth, and how everything works, this could just be one of those things where it's like, I don't know, clout chasing gone wrong, I guess. You know, this could be one of those situations. Uh, clout chasing gone wrong. He set out there. I can go to the other page and talk about it, see if it builds up. I think what I did was might have played the music too long. See, on TikTok, when they coming in on TikTok, if you ain't, talking about what they want to hear, they gonna leave. If it don't sound like, they gonna leave. Like, so you when you first jump on, your number's gonna come through quick. And then if they stop in there and tap the screen, then you gotta redo it. Re-enter the room. Yeah, I'm gonna get some people on the conversation and see what y'all think. If you come over to TikTok, whatever, we can get some people into the conversation. But the way I'm looking at this, it's almost like, this is crazy. Hey, listen, stuff happens, right? But just the ironicness of it. I haven't seen if 607 Unk like said anything about it or whatever, but I'm pretty sure he's probably got a lot to say, regarding this situation. Him, saying that he's that he's on a mission for God and everything like that. And then this happens to the person he was calling out. This happens to the person who he's saying, get in the ring with me, so on and so forth. He said all of this about about 4 extra, and then this happens, right? So you got 4 extra, you got 607 Unk, 607 Unk calling him out. I guess he won't be running no fades no time soon, that's for sure. All that talk about, I'm gonna fade you out and all of this stuff. Listen, your clap is about to be different, my boy. You know what I mean? Your whole clap about to be different. You know what I mean? Like, I don't even think, if it's the right hand, the hand that you actually are, which it looked like it was the right hand, right? And you got to learn everything all over again. You got to learn to use your left hand for everything. Maybe we should start like a GoFundMe to try to get him a prosthetic hand.
I'm sure with all the clout he got off of this, he's gonna be fine.
I didn't say we had to give him the money from it.
Oh. Just raise it.
Yeah, just raise it. Yeah, just raise it. Buy a hand, put it on the shelf somewhere. 4K extra hand. Just in case he need it. You know what I'm saying? Like, standby.
Yeah.
Got to have a hand on standby.
I mean, I did see one.
Give him a hand, and that way you got it on standby. 4K. If ever you need this hand, feel free to stop by, borrow it. It's just like it's both of our hand. It just stay at my house.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Like that. Yeah. Debo. But no, like, to me, the reason why I speak on it how I speak on it, because I don't I think the universe has a unique way of showing us things, right? And when you point this out, this is nothing more than somebody who's out there playing a monster, playing this gangster, playing this role in this image, right? And now that karma done hit his ass, right? Same hand that he threatening to slap people with, the same hand that he threatening to I knock people out, I run fades, you know? You know what I'm saying? Only thing fading right now is those fingers. Huh? Huh? He's not even gonna be able to say finger licking good anymore.
Like he might have messed up his hand before it even started.
Well, he said No Jumper said that this is not the extent of it, that is actually, more to it than this. He say, like, this is just, partial of it. Like, I want to see if more people are speaking on it. I want to see if more people are speaking on it, or or if this just one of those things that because there's so much going on with Christian Rock and Ronnie's family asking for a DNA test, Sexy Santana being implemented in the whole Diddy thing, saying that Diddy, Sexy Santana's one of Sexy Santana's ex is coming out, saying that around that time with proof and so on and so forth. There's a lot of different topics that we could be talking about right now that's happening. You know what I'm saying? So if this is true, if he really did, lose a hand, this is life changing. You know what I mean? Like, this is going to for sure change everything, right? Um, and that's why I say it's funny. I mean, not funny like, oh, it's funny. I say it's funny because people are not understanding how this world works. People are taking a lack of notion when it comes to this world. When you push out so much negativity, when you push out so much um low vibration, right? This is the outcome of it. And even Christian Rock, like, her moment is coming because you know the family is asking for a test now. The family of Ronnie is asking Christian Rock for a DNA test. And that's why I said, like, when you actually look at this baby now, that baby look more like Ronnie. Like, you can't say that baby don't look more like Ronnie, right? When you look at it now, compared to when when the baby was a baby, right? This baby look more like him than it do Blueface. So now the family is asking, because you knew once the family go through their grieving process, once all his little, possessions is, divvied up and everybody's passed it wherever they gonna pass it to, they gonna say, like, what do we have left of him? What piece of him is left, right? So if he's got a whole kid out there, right, his family gonna look at that as an extension of him. We need to find out about this baby. If it is his baby, you know what I'm saying? Because this was his unaliving wish, pretty much. You know what I'm saying? He said beyond anything else, that's what he said. He didn't care what happened to him. He wanted to know that DNA test. And now the family is asking for the DNA test. And, she's denying it. But I want y'all to think about this. When Ronnie passed, she posted a DNA results. She posted DNA results when Ronnie passed. The same day, the very next day, she posted DNA results. That's why I say she got something to do with it. That's why I say it's all about to start coming out. Because if you posted results the day, you know what I'm saying? And why wouldn't you give them the DNA test? Huh? Why wouldn't you? You know? If the baby is his, yeah. Yeah, it's very important for them to find out if Ronnie bloodline is still, you know what I'm saying? Because that's that's like a last piece of him. You know what I mean? So that's happening. That's why I say it's so much happening right now. Like so many different, things is revealing themselves to us right now. If you open your eyes, you'll be able to see it. Like the world is moving faster. YSL Woody is locked back up. He's facing 9 additional charges, including, stunt driving, wrong way chase, and driving on a suspended, which is all in clear violation of his you know, federal parole or probation agreement, I guess, right? So he's probably going to be looking at some time, right? What else? What else is going on? And if the baby is his, it only proves that Krishan Rock is more involved with the unalivement of Ronnie than what they leading on. And here's why I say that, because when you think about it, she posted those results the day after he was gone. She couldn't even wait. She posted those results the day after he was gone, right? And now that the family is asking for a, test, why are you denying them the test when, you know, you supposedly already posted it? Now, here's the kicker. Here's the kicker with that, right? If the baby goes to CPS, right? Then CPS is obligated to put that baby with family, right? So CPS would have to find out if that baby is Ronnie's in order to give them an opportunity to get custody of the baby before the baby goes into the system, right? Both families will have an opportunity. First, it goes to the parents. If the parents is not here, it goes to the grandparents. However, it works, right? So, with Blueface being locked up, Krishan, you know what I'm saying, possibly CPS taking the baby or already took the baby, right? Now you looking at the grandmom that possibly can put in to get the baby, right? Or Ronnie's family can put in for a test and also go after, the guardianship of this baby.
They also have grandparent rights.
That's what I'm talking about. Because that's how it trickles down. So, like, because Blueface is in jail, right? Krishan Rock is unstable mother or unfit, whatever you want to call it. Now the grandparents have a chance to step in, and then like the siblings afterwards, if before the baby go into the system, because they at that age they'll put the baby up for adoption, and the baby will get adopted real quick.
Even if the baby is adopted as grandparents, I don't know what state they're in, but most states have a grandparent right where the grandparents still have rights to have visitation with that child in most states. So regardless of the
I thought Wolf wasn't Jaguar and them on Set in the West yesterday. Wasn't they just on Set in the West yesterday? I thought I seen them on Set in the West yesterday. So I thought Jaguar and them was on Set in the West. I don't look her up. Like I thought I had it. Let me see. Yeah, that Jaguar Right effect is still there. Oh, they must have lost the Jaguar Right show. They must have lost the Jaguar Right show. And yeah, they had to lose the Jaguar Right show. Oh, you said it's a new channel. Damn, Gina. What's going on in these streets? Jaguar Right channel gone. So the Jaguar Right show is gone then. Oh, Denot got a new page too?
What?
Look,
How?
Denot uncensored.
But that doesn't make sense. Isn't he fighting them for like his rights?
They saying it's a fan page, so they trying to make it seem like it's a Denot fan page. You know what I mean? Instead of saying it's him, now it's his fan page. You know what I mean? Oh, the Jaguar Right show and Set in the West. Yes, because that's the channel that they was doing the manipulation on. So Jaguar thought it would be cool. Jaguar and Wolf, they thought it would be cool if they took this person's interview, right, and clip it up. So what they did was they had Jaguar talk as if she was really talking to this person, like the same way Jaguar tried to say that we AI'd her over here with that picture and stuff like that, and we AI'd her. The reason why Jaguar is saying people are doing stuff like that is because Jaguar and Wolf and them is really doing stuff like that, right? So they're making it seem like they had an interview with somebody, right? By clipping it up and giving you more sound and then giving you a visual of what it is. It's like the Twilight Zone. Remember back in the day we had those shows like Outer Limits. When Outer Limits came on, it was like, do not attempt to adjust your TV. You're like, what the fuck? They say we can split your image in 1,000 pixels or bring it to one crystal clarity, right? And then they literally tell you, like, you are now in the outer limits. Please stand by. And then a commercial will come on. And then when the outer limits came back on, in every episode of the outer limits, you thought it had a good ending, but the ending actually had some type of catch to it at the end. Like you would think like it was a good ending, but at the end it'd be like, you know what I mean? It'll show you like, and then you'd be like, damn, that's crazy. Kind of like Goosebumps was back in the day, you know? Yeah, that Harley interview was chopped and screwed, courtesy of Wolf Kutcher. You get what I'm saying? It was chopped and screwed. They made it seem like they had an interview with her. They made it seem like they was working with her, so on and so forth, right? So then when it fell over, when it spilled over, and then they try to do the whole oh, they're against us and silence and da 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 and this, that, and third. Then they did all of that. You get what I'm saying? But you got to think, all of these pages that are, defaming people's character and stuff like that, with Diddy coming home, y'all better cut it out. Y'all better cut it out. Y'all better go clean up y'all files right now. Y'all better get it all out. Y'all better get it all out. You see people, they not playing with this stuff. Y'all are making it hard for us to actually have justice, have truth. You're making it hard for us to see who the real victims are, right? So this is a very complicated world that we're living in because exposure. A lot of things are getting exposed right now, and some people ain't gonna be able to take it, right? Rock Nation got a big chunk of a fight coming up with Nicki Minaj. Nicki Minaj was just now saying on Instagram, she was saying, you see how my numbers have dropped since I started talking about certain things. So Nicki Minaj's moment, her numbers are dropping now. And I think she had like 2,000 in her room last night. She's saying with that whole vault thing that Jay-Z had and everything like that. So Nicki Minaj has entered the chat. You know what I mean? If you ask me, Nicki Minaj has entered the chat because she's got, some questions that she was asking back then when Ray J was on the panel, right? When Ray J was on the panel, she had some stuff that she was asking back then that was very, if you ask me, if you ask me, it was very, pay attention to type stuff. You know what I mean? Nicki Minaj says that Rock Nation is setting us up, right? So she's saying, like, hey, it's a lot of funny stuff going on right now, and just pray for us type stuff. You know what I mean? Uh so we looking at a lot of dark stuff that's about to start being revealed. And I don't want y'all to get shaky. I don't want y'all to try to, you know what I mean? Like, I don't want y'all to try to be like uh you know, I just don't want y'all to try to make it seem like, oh, what is this? Why is this happening? So on and so forth. You know what I mean? Like, nah, don't do that. Don't do that. Um, see, this is what Jaguar is in trouble for. You know, Jaguar been lurking, like she been
But this is
faking.
something that didn't happen.
This is fake.
December
This is
29th.
fake. That conversation with Jaguar is fake. This is a setup. This is a catch-22 right here. Jaguar set this up. She said, Jaguar, man, come on now. You can't be doing this. You can't be setting up fake interviews with people like you really had a conversation with these people. Now, why I say she out here victimizing victims, man. This is exactly why I say she out here victimizing victims. Because ain't no way. And, in the words of Friday, Craig let him do it. You know what I'm saying? And Craig let him do it. You know what I'm saying? Got the whole world sitting here looking like Day. What? Tell us what happened, Day. What you do? What you do? I ain't do shit. But Craig let him do it, right? I ain't do shit. But Craig let him do it. Nah, man. We got to fix some of this stuff. There's so much stuff going on in this world. We got to start fixing some of this stuff. I'm just saying, we got to want to fix it. Let's be honest. We got to want to fix it. We got to want to have the right people in place. We got to want to have, idols that are good, for the, ideal image. Why do you think basketball players can't go out there and do whatever? Why do you think it was so much controversy around, Allen Iverson when he was, claiming to be a blood, when he was in, that whole bowling alley situation with AI? Why you think all of that took place? Now people going, start losing pages. And allegedly, supposedly, Krishan was still in contact with Ronnie when he passed away. Allegedly, supposedly, she still was in contact with him,
Living their truth.
and they, did the thing while he was still alive. They, you know what I'm saying? She threw him some. So she gave him that one last before, she took him out. I'm telling you, this is dark days. This is dark days for sure. That's why I be paying attention. I be like, man, nah. Cause they not this listen, once you realize that they not playing fair, you hear me? Do you hear me? They not playing fair. You know? Grand Rising, Namaste, Ashe, salutations, shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Ashe. So when you looking at this, it's kind of, it's kind of like, I don't know. To me, I'm looking at this and I'm just like, the whole world in chaos right now. If this ain't the highest level of operation of, like, this is one of the highest levels of disclosure to me, but nobody's opening their eyes to see it. Nobody's opening up their eyes to see it. And I think that's what's, I think that's what's saying a lot, is that nobody opening up their eyes to see it or want to see it, right? These people have played this game for a long time. I mean, look at the Knot. He's starting the Knot fan pages. You know what I'm saying? Because I want to explain to y'all something about the algorithm. The algorithm shows you things that are like coming from the same IPS address that you have already watched before. A lot of people got multiple accounts. When you got somebody's number in your phone, their social media might pop up as if you might know this person because their numbers in your phone, or so on and so forth. So a lot of times this data is being transferred. This is why when you get when you get on one of these apps, it asks you, do you mind if we what it say, something on the lines like, do you mind if we track you on other applications to get a better idea of what it is that you like to watch? You know what I mean? It's asking you that stuff for a reason. I realize that a lot of people in this world, they're just clickers. They're just clickers. They click past everything real fast and they say, oh, I didn't see it. Oh, I didn't read that. Oh, I didn't notice. You know what I mean? So yeah, there is a lot going on right now. There's a lot going on. And you see what's happening. Like this, the internet is truly undefeated. There's the reason why I say the internet is truly undefeated, because everything that people thought they can hide, the internet is exposing. Now, it could be exposure through, different variations of people speaking out, but the disinformation, the agents of chaos, and the controversy cells, all of this corruption. I mean, Donald Trump did a damn whole yesterday where he was supposed to be talking to us about this bill, and all he said was, pretty much it's going to be big changes, big changes, and the rest of it was just a ramble. The rest of it was just a ramble. So all we know is change is happening. That's all we know. Everything else he said was just a ramble. He said China's going to stop sending fentanyl in. He blamed fentanyl on China. He said China's going to stop sending fentanyl in, and we are going to open up trades, more trades. There's going to be a lot more trades. We're open. China's opening it up for us. What do you mean China's opening it up for us for better trade? We already in $1 billion trade debt with China. What do you want to open? We wide the fuck open already. Like, we don't need to be open up trades with China anymore than what the fuck we opened up with China. We don't have factories manufacturing enough shit to sell enough to make up the trader debt that we in. We in a you know what I'm saying, multi-billion-dollar trade debt. Like, oh, they're gonna open it up more? Oh, okay, let's go into the trillions then. What the fuck? What more do we need to open it up? They're gonna open up trades. We're gonna try to equal the playing field. China's gonna open it. I think this is a window for peace. Peace. Yes, this is a big step. You're working with the enemy. It sounds like you manipulating us. The only reason why we is what we is because of that currency. It's because the American dollar. So if you even out the American dollar, we go to poop. We go to poop. The American dollar is backed up by oil, or oil is backed up by the American dollar. The shift changed, guys. The shift has changed. You in a different world. Oh, yeah. It's a different world from where you come from. Yes, indeed. I'm glad I got my hand. I don't know the song. Even back then when that song used to come on, I used to like make up words and shit. All I know is the part where she scream out, if you can dish it, you can take it. I know that part. I know that part for sure, Vantisha. If you can dish it, you can take it. Hey, just remember where you come from. Oh, it's a different world. Who from where you come from? That's come on. Work with me here. Work with me here. Nah, the world has changed though. The world has changed greatly. The world has changed, you know. If I'm being honest, the world has changed. The things around us has changed. Um, just you got to open up your eyes in order to see it, because the reality of it is, we're in a new time with everything happening. Even with the Diddy trial showed you something different. It showed you something real different. That's why them people was out there like, this seemed like Black Mirror, because all they seen was people with their phones out. You know what I'm saying? Imagine a bunch of stuff going on in the street, and the only thing you look around, everybody got their phone out. You waiting for somebody to intervene, somebody to say something. You like, what the fuck? This can't be reality. This can't be reality. People, when you just got like, imagine standing somewhere and you look over here and these people are in their own little thing, and then you look over this way and it's a whole different thing going on. You look over this way, you would think it was like Comic Con goes wild or something. When you listen, in about 5 years, when you walk outside and you look at reality and you see all these people NPCing all over the place, you're gonna be like, what the they gonna be standing out there. Hi, I'm Spider-Man. Other people, ice cream so good. Other people, you're shocking me. You're gonna be like, what the fuck? Bro, listen, when I say you're not going to understand what's happening, and here's why I say you're not going to understand what's happening. During the midst of y'all paying attention to the Diddy trial, not only did this big, beautiful bill get passed, right? But the players that are at the table to buy TikTok is billionaires. So these are billionaires that are sitting at the table putting their money together to buy TikTok, right? Because they see the numbers. So now TikTok is now going to become a job here in America. Imagine how many more people about to start NPCing. Oh, you motherfuckers about to put booty cheeks in the air, laying there with your feet up, trying to get numbers over there. Oh, y'all talk shit about TikTok before. But now with this on the table, all y'all gonna try to be like, man, I need to go get me a TikTok account. When y'all hear about how much money people making over there, and now they about to, listen, we could switch over to a different level. Tell her we could switch over to a different level. We could switch over to a different, verbe of what's happening. Come in. It's not. We could switch over, but the reality of it is, the way the system looks right now, with tariff coming in, with tariff coming in, and with everything else happening, listen, I promise you're not going to be able to do nothing, because the currency is changing, the big bill passed yesterday. He wanted to sign that on the 4th, right? So now what you didn't see is the lack of supplies coming in, right? The people who seeing that is corporate America. Corporate America is seeing a slowdown in merchandise coming in, right? So a lot of stores are not having everything that they supposed to have. Trucks are not coming in. Thus far, you looking what's going on, but you're not looking at what's actually going on. There's a lot changing in our world that's happening, right? These people say that love and operating on this and moving towards that, but there's a lot that's happening in the world that a lot of people are not opening their eyes to. You pay attention to the entertainment. That's why Kanye West said it's the bread and circus. It's the bread and circus because you pay attention to the circus, right? You're not paying attention to the bread, right? The bread is the manipulation of what you're focused on, right? So because they manipulated bread and you think money is bread, you focused on money, but that's not the real bread. The real bread is our moral compass. The real bread is what we stand for collectively. The real bread that's the real bread, right? But you think money is the real bread. But we sitting here, growing in wicked, we growing in evil, we growing in, and everybody want to make it seem like that, they don't see it. Everybody want to pretend and make it seem like they don't see it. It's not happening. Listen, this is about to change so much. This is about to change so much. Here's why I say this is about to change so much. Because why didn't we hear nothing about the bill? The whole time yesterday the president talked, he didn't talk about none of that bill. Nothing about what was in it. He said some stuff like, oh, yeah, with Obamacare, we could have got rid of it. We could have got rid of the whole thing, but I decided to work, with some things and so on and so forth to make it better, right? That's not true because a lot of Medicaid is about to take a hit, food stamps is about to take a hit. Right? There's a reason why they're putting a 2026 stimulus package together is because they're already preparing for us to take a hit. Right? So when these later months come, right, and shit's shaky, right? Don't listen. The world is one big stage. That's all you got to remember. You know what I mean? Look at the 4K, the 4 extra situation. If this turns out to be clout, if this, he might have to, because he was already in trouble. He's already looking or facing time or something of that magnitude or something like that. So now I guess like he can disappear for a little bit or whatever the case may be. Maybe come back with a prosthetic hand. I don't know. You say all that is for immigrants, not Americans in need. Well, let's think about this. If we have a high level of nursing systems where we have a high level of nurses and medical or Medicaid is about to take a hit, then you can say a lot of people that are in that field are about to be out of a job. You can say a lot of our nurses and all of that stuff, you can say they're about to be out of a job, right? Even with the cuts that are in education, there's going to be a substantial amount of schools, right? They're going to have to, basically, it's going to be better for you to homeschool your kid, right? So maybe I look too much into the bill. I don't know. Maybe because, if you look at the Democrats, if you look at the way the bill got passed, it was split. It was split 50-50, right? And the vice president had the last vote, right? And that's how the bill got passed, right? So obviously the Democrats are looking at this and saying that this does not benefit, poverty-stricken people. This does not benefit, whatever, because let's say that, certain variations of our currency change, right? To open up for this trade. because the only way to open up for this trade is for America dollar to get closer to that brick currency. And since brick currency is backed by digital, right? Now it's that much more important for us to have, you know, online capabilities, so on and so forth, if we're moving to a more digital currency. And did you know, I think he took out pennies? Like, you know what I'm saying? Go ahead and turn your pennies in. Pennies ain't going to be no more. Maybe because they want the copper or something. I don't know. But yeah, pennies gone. Yep. Pennies. Say bye-bye to the pennies. Yeah. So I don't know what you guys are paying attention to. I got, I got this multitasking system that's in my head that, keeps making me do a bunch of things at one time, because it's a multitasking system in my head. And that multitasking system that is in my head is putting a multitude of things together that is telling me to, pay attention, right? I mean, you guys should be hearing the sirens too that's telling you to pay attention. You probably just don't want to pay attention. They've been working on this for a long time. It was, and that's not even the telling about the effects that it's going to take on parenthood, Planned Parenthood, whatever it's called. So yeah, this is going to be very interesting. This is going to be very interesting of how this works out. Project 2025. We really are in for some changes, and this is why I say, like, Trump said it yesterday. If you go back and listen to the long rant where he was just talking about anything, some parts he was speaking on it. He was like, and this is why I told everyone to go out and buy the land, and this that and the third, and so on and so forth. And this is why, like, so many people, rich people, went out and bought land. This is why you see subdivisions being created, in certain areas. You see these new subdivisions. We're riding around and we're like, man, but we really didn't see the increase in population. They are, banking on this increase in population, but they also are banking on you staying, blind to the, if you go back and study Allison Crawley, which I'm sure, Jaguar will tell you everything about it, due to the fact that she had that Baphomet tattoo, and she said she was a part of the Illuminati, right? So if Jaguar ever really wanted to have a conversation, those are the things that she should be having conversations about. What actually did you learn during your short time with the Roots? What really took place back then? What put your mind in this loop of, misinforming, right? Like, how did you end up in this cycle that you're in, right? These are the questions that, Jaguar should be answering. She ducking some real questions because even her son said that she was supposed to be, a sacrifice for the Roots or something like that. And she's been mad about that ever since, right? So something took place way back then in the 90s and the early 2000s when she was doing her doo-wops and all of that stuff. When she got her little commercial coming out of Philadelphia. Because she told a story one time where she tried to introduce one of her homeboys to the Roots, and she said that they were rappers, and they were like, when they got there, they was like, man, these ain't no rappers. This is instruments. Like, this ain't no rap. This is instruments. And, they was making fun of the Roots and how they did all of their original, with instruments and stuff like that. So, at that time, it was different because you got to look at the mindset of how it was in the 90s. You had people coming out of New York who had a, one track mind, kind of like Jaguar. She can't step out of the music genre that she's in. You know what I mean? It's like one of those old people who go to the doo-wop, clubs, so they can do their little, doo-wops, and that's what they are. They're like washed up. So that's why you haven't seen no ask yourself, riddle me this. Why you ain't see no music come from her? She was supposed to be using Angie Stone's, Unaliving as a way to put out an album. Why you ain't hear no music come from her? Project 25 is pretty spooky, and listen, the depths of that conversation. Listen, if you really read that, Project 25, if you really read it, I guess we all would be investing in bunkers, wouldn't we? Huh? You would probably have a bunker too right now. And a lot of you guys don't know that in September of 2023, or I think it was August of 2023, there was a worldwide, what was it called? Drill. There was a worldwide drill. Nobody really talked about it, but it was a worldwide drill, not a nationwide, a worldwide drill, right? And this drill was only for people who was a part of the drill. And the drill was for them to, get into their bunkers. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know how in school we had like fire drills and stuff like that? Okay. Well, they had that, and there was a different type of drill, right? So obviously some people know some shit. Okay. And here's the kicker. Not only do they know some shit, but they know, I mean, they almost got it down to like, the 4 or 5 major cities that shit could possibly go down, right? And if you are watching trade and you are into trade, I mean, big trades coming, a lot of trades. And China's also going to be, no longer sending fentanyl. And think about that. Like, who says some shit like that? As the president, you just gonna say that? Like, you know what I mean? This is horse tranquilizer we talking about. Never mind. So yeah, there's a lot of stuff that was said, and there's a lot of stuff that wasn't said. See, what the president did yesterday is a smoke and mirror, right? That's what the president gave you, is a smoke and mirror. He gave you a public appearance, right? And everybody thought that we was about to get a greater understanding for this big, beautiful bill. And all he did was ramble. That's all he did. He was just rambling. It was like up there talking to like a group of friends, like, yeah, and Mary was over at the house. And when Mary got to the house, man, it was a mess. And, we were trying to clean it up as good as possible while Mary was there. And Mary, are you here today? Are you out? Okay, never mind. I'm sorry. Mary's not here. But yeah, so everything was happy. Like, that's what he gave us. What you supposed to be explaining to us, pretty much, the pros of this bill getting signed in. And you did it on Independence Day. Remember, he said he wanted to get it done before the 4th, right? And then he signed it on the 4th, right? He is rewriting history. As we speak, he rewriting history, right? And what y'all don't understand is, like, this bill has some real hidden stuff in it that's going to actually rock our nation as a collective. Like, if you got kids that were born and you not from this country, like they can take your kid from school. Do you hear me? If the parent, if one parent was not from this country and the kid is born and listen, man, y'all not paying attention, man. Y'all better get to this. Y'all, man, listen. K-12, K-12, just look it up. K-12, homeschooling, whatever you want to call it. Y'all better y'all better y'all, man. What do you think? ISIS wasn't just them, man, listen. Listen. Them immigrants ain't just worried about no damn papers. They worried about their kids. They kids that were born here, but now can't, don't get no qualifications for being born here. Nobody is off limits now. This shit is about to shake everything. You could say that there's a cleanup process, but the cleanup process is going to hurt somebody. The idea of this cleanup is not beneficial to everybody. You know what I mean? And I'm not at liberty to say what we are all about to go through. I'm not at liberty to say it because I'm not one that focused on the fear in the world, right? I'm focused on the love, the light, the laughter, trying to unify, trying to build, put different people in different places to do greater things, be greater with inside their self. That's my idea. My idea is to, shoot for the moon. If I miss, I'm still amongst them stars, but in this reality, you got people where, sky's the limit, and then you got people where it's just ceiling. You know what I mean? So however you want to look at this, not everybody gonna make it because not everybody is shooting for, the highest level of understanding. You know what I mean? Some people just, some people will be like, all right, come on, that's enough. That's too deep. You know what I mean? Because they don't want to know. They don't care to journey. They just want to know enough to have material wealth. You know what I mean? Just tell me enough to get to a bag. That's it. Tell me enough to get to a bag. I'm thinking about like maybe putting together a group of people that can do some stuff in the Discord. Maybe we can learn some stuff and then teach our kids some stuff and just do the online classes ourselves. Maybe we need to go back to a small, revamp or summer school or something like that so we could teach our kids, because you better get back in teaching your kids, or what you better do is to find a group of y'all. Y'all got those clubs and shit like that. Y'all better find a win, and one of y'all decide to become a teacher for the group or for the group of kids, and then y'all send y'all kids to that person's house and pay that person or something. I promise you, shit shaky right now, huh? Y'all ain't paying attention to it. It's the reason why the internet is so filled with so many strange, personas. Is a reason why, you got so many different variations of characters. They used to implement it in movies and TV shows. That's why, like, for the last, 15 plus years, you have seen like girl on girl relationships, boy on boys relationships. I mean, look what Drake did with that movie with that show that he came out with, where the students was dating the teachers and the teachers was like, they put that into that show, into all of that for a reason. There's now there's no age bracket. Why you think they got the younger rappers beefing with the older rappers? Like you got what's his name beefing with Lil King and them. Like, yo, are you serious? Like, these are kids. Like, that's how you know something is off, when people don't know the separation between, arguing with a kid versus arguing with an adult, right? Now, yes, we can say this person is wise for their age or whatever the case may be, but that's still a kid, right? But this is why they taking away that barrier, right? This is why they telling kids, that they got certain things that, you got certain rights and stuff like that. Yeah, you got the right to your cell phone and so on and so forth. This is your possession and so on and so forth. So now kids are implementing children's rights, right? So now when you look at it, this is why they say, like, you could do this and do that at a younger age. Like, you could choose what gender you want to be at 10 years old. How? You know what I'm saying? At 10 years old, you still trying to understand the ins and outs of your genitals. You know what I mean? You ain't even hit the, puberty state yet to really, so how can you tell that, people can make these decisions at this age? No, that only benefits, corporate America, because now people will have to buy like estrogen pills. People will have to go through operations, so on and so forth, right? So that benefits, corporate America. That's why I always say, like, um, consumer digest America, because when you look at this, everybody is like, even the elites. At one point back in the day, I was trying to figure out, like, why was all the elites on these late night shows? They were sitting on a late night show, David Letterman, all of this stuff, and he would always ask them, like, did you take your medicine today? Like, did you take your medicine today? Did you take your medicine today? And I was like, what the fuck? Like, why is he asking all of these, did they take their medicine today? Like, did they say? And this was like before people, like, I didn't really know about like volumes or any of that stuff that Kanye West be talking about that they make sure that they take, you know what I'm saying? So I was like, what the fuck? Like, why is they sitting there? And then, like, when Mariah Carey had that scare where she was like, she started gaining too much weight and everything like that, or actually they said she was getting passed around too much, if I'm being honest, and she had that little scare, and then all of a sudden, after that little, suicide scare, so on and so forth, then Mariah come back skinny, and then all of a sudden it's motherfucking Mariah Carey Christmas, all generations. Like, I just remember a lot in our history that things that make you say, you know what I mean? Because I seen a lot. It's just not making sense. This reality is not making sense, and the truth of the matter is, you got to remember that Diddy and his lawyers have every piece of information about all these, different people that might have said something, against him or whatever. And they say Diddy is a very vindictive person. They say, he is, so you can imagine how shaken people are right now. You know what I'm saying? Ain't nobody coming out with no albums. You know what I'm saying? These motherfuckers in hiding, writing secret letters and shit like that. The only thing they can hope for now is that the judge give him the full penalty of the charge, right? Because he took it to trial and lost trial. Now the judge have the right to sentence you to the full extent of the law. So that's the only thing that that they have to bank on right now, is that the judge says, we're going to give you the max, which is 10 for each of them, which is a total of 20, and we're going to run it consecutively instead of concurrent. You know what I'm saying? So that way you got to finish up the 10 on this one before you do the 10 on that one, right? That's the best hope that, that people have right now. That's the best hope. Wrong. I'm sorry. That's not the best hope. The best hope is that the FBI get their ass back into them offices and revamp these damn charges and then approach it again. Because that's why they dropped some shit in the first place, was so they can revamp it and then approach again. So before October come, Diddy will be facing more charges that's going to prolong everything. So sorry guys, Oman, Wiggins, everybody out there that celebrated, poor baby oil on themselves, that wanted to try to say Diddy was coming home. Boop, bap, surprise, he's not coming home, because I guarantee you throughout this year and next year, there's going to be more charges brought up, and there's going to be more people stepping out, because whoever is putting together this haku of sorts, they not going out like that. You hear me? They not going out like that. Whoever's putting together this, change of seatings, yeah, they not going out like that. So y'all can, flipping and dipping. Y'all could try to say whatever y'all want regarding everything, but this whole thing is a manipulation. Yeah, it's a manipulation of the simulation that you call reality. Yeah, even this 4K Ultra, or not 4K Ultra, but 4 extra situation. Like, come on, Adam. Come on, Adam. All of the evidence that y'all be showing, all of the videos that y'all be showing, and all you could do is say, like, I don't know the extent of everything, but blah, blah, blah. And it's really worse than that because, his homie got his face blown off, or this, that, and the third. Like, come on, Adam. You could do better than this.
4th of July, he was hanging out with a bunch of his friends in front of like a shopping center where they're all hanging out. There was like a short that I posted yesterday, him doing some high kick thing. And he basically had a handful of fireworks, and he was about to let one off. Didn't actually get out of his hand. Apparently, those fuses burn a lot faster than you would think. And blew his hand off. And there's more bad news, which is that the true extent of his injuries, I don't think has really 100% been revealed yet. I'm not really at liberty to say exactly what, but definitely there's more to come in terms of like all the stuff that has happened to him as a result of this. But also, I'm not sure 100% who the friend was, but he was with one of his friends, and his friend allegedly like blew half his face off, which I haven't seen any evidence of this or whatever, but yeah, that's all we know right now. He's in surgery right now, off pain meds for like the first time in his entire life. And
now, why would him saying that he's off pain meds the first time in his entire life? Why would he have to add that? Like, oh, he's on pain meds for the first time in his entire life. Like, what? No. All that lean, all the drinking, all of that other stuff. Why would you have to say that? Because you already know that this is really like I don't know. Like, to me, reality is not real. Like, I pay attention to details, and that part right there is so telling. But on top of that, if one of his friends did get half his face blown off, then that's a charge. Like, he should be charged. Like, I don't know if y'all went to his Instagram or if anybody, followed up on this or looked up on this, but this dude was walking around with those two, M80s in his hand, and he was saying like, I blow, I take my face off with this shit, da 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 da. So he probably tried to light both of those damn things at the same time. And his dumb ass probably cocked it back to try to throw that shit. You know what I mean? He probably cocked it back to try to throw that shit. And it just, see, that's why you're supposed to sit them shits down. Everybody knows. If for anybody out there, make sure you practice safety when it comes to, lighting or using fireworks, however you want to look at it. Make sure you practice safety. This is crazy work. This is truly crazy work. But y'all know. When we come back, we do got some, music we got to get into. We do got some music we got to get into. Y'all make sure y'all check out the merchandise. Go check out the merchandise. And some new stuff been added to the merchandise. We also got somebody who made some nice Love is Love bracelets and stuff like that, as their first bracelet. So later on, I got to check with them first and make sure, see if they got a website and everything like that. So that way I can send people to the website or promote the website. I'm going to check on some stuff right now in regards to some, trying to get some stuff done today. So we're gonna listen, man. I can't explain everything that's going on, but I will say pay attention. I can't explain everything that's going on in this world, but I will say open your eyes and pay attention because this world is actually stranger than fiction. I might have to use that. Open your eyes and pay attention. The world is stranger than fiction. Okay. I might have to put that on a shirt. Open your eyes and pay attention. The world is truly no. Open your eyes and pay attention. The world is stranger than fiction. Yeah. Huh? I can't.
Lately a nigga been fighting a whole lot of demons.
Yeah, I stay to myself too. Hey, if nobody told you that they love you today, let me be the first but not the last to tell you that I love you. All right. Just remember, one image of oneself should be greater than reality, and however you look at this, everything happens for a reason. As above, so below, as without, so within. All things given to the creator, right? So in this verse, in all verses, we have to realize that the things that are happening, give it to the creator, right? The wins and losses that you see taking place down here, give it to the creator. Don't let it hurt you so much. If your team lose, if your team win, like stop giving like emotions are so important right now. Like having emotional intelligence, right? Giving your emotions to the right people, reserving your emotions, keeping your emotions, putting boundaries up on your emotions, right? It's very important right now. That's why I'm thankful that I went through 3 different group homes. You know what I mean? Because you got a lot of people in this world that's playing on people's emotions, right? They can't really match intellect with you, but what they can do is play with your feelings and emotions, right? So intellectually, you probably, can, best them in different variations of conversations and words, so on and so forth. You know what I mean? But feelings and emotions, they'll try to put you in your feelings. They'll try to tamper with your emotions. They want to do that. So then when you act out on that, then they can try to be like, oh, why you getting mad? Why you doing this? Why you doing that? So this is a manipulation of the mind. A lot of people try to manipulate your mind. They tell you that, oh yeah, let's just talk about this, just for the sake of conversation. You know what I mean? For the sake of conversation, what do you think about this? And then you'll give your response, and then an argument will take place. But you got to remember, this is for the sake of conversation, right? So after someone's feelings and emotions is tampered with for that sake of conversation, right? Now it's like, nah. We got to continue talking about this. You get what I'm saying? So a lot of times I step away from any type of situation that I feel like somebody is, because what I realize is everybody don't view things the way that I view things. If I'm looking at something and somebody say, oh yeah, come on, we just gonna do this for fun, right? Then I'm laughing, I'm joking, you know what I mean? But everybody don't like to laugh and joke. That's not their idea of fun. Some people are, in a sense, they're more so ooh. Like everybody is pride and ego. So me, I'm a laugh, I'm a joke, I'm gonna keep on having fun because I realize what this world is. Why am I gonna sit there and try to tamper with somebody else's feelings? I already know I don't like when people play with my feelings. I don't like when people try to, play, insult my intelligence or play with my mental, right? You can't sit there and explain something and then and within that same course, try to manipulate what you already explained and then try to it's like Uno reverse. You know what I mean? It's like Uno reverse. So a lot of times I separate myself from people, places, and things. I separate myself from people, places, and things because everybody ain't got your best interest. Some people are, in secret competition. Some people are jealous of how you carry yourself. Some people are jealous that you are, lighthearted, that you you know, carry, a lot of people don't know how to carry worry. A lot of people don't know how to carry their fears. So they're mad or jealous that you wear things well, right? A lot of people say, you wear trouble well. You do good in messed up situations. That don't mean I like messed up situations. That don't mean I that's why I separate myself from people, because people play with your feelings so bad or so much that they think their job is to put you in an operation of how they want you to feel as opposed to how you feel. You ever feel a certain type of way and then somebody outside of you tell you how you feel based off of the conversation that you giving them? Oh, well, look like you this way, look like you that way, seems like you're this, seems like you're that. And you're like, no, that's how you're taking it. You know what I mean? That's how you want to perceive it, right? I'm just explaining to you what needs to be explained to you because obviously you seem to not understand it, right? Oh, well, oh, it look like this, look like that. So I will separate myself from people real quick. And the reason why I separate myself from people real quick is because I read energies. I don't care about people. People are going to change no matter what happens in this world, no matter what you do in this world. Your surroundings is going to change, and the people that you're around is going to change. That is inevitable, right? But you know what don't change? Energy. Energy don't change. So if you learn how to be comfortable being around energy, it don't matter what people you're around because you're going to be comfortable with inside the energy of yourself, right? But when you start realizing that people are trying to tamper with your energy, and this is when you separate yourself. This is when you distance yourself. When people try to tamper with your energy, try to play on your feelings, tamper with your intellect, right? People act like you didn't see them making a face at you. People act like you didn't see their body language when they were looking at you out the corner of their eyes, when they were tapping that friend or trying to get that friend attention so they can tell them to look at what you're doing, right? People act like you don't see that stuff, right? And what I like to do is I like to pretend like I didn't see it, because if you address it, they're going to try to make it seem like you're the problem, right? And if you don't say nothing, then it might lead to somebody picking on you. But if you say, "Hey, man, what you do that for? Like, what you get his attention for? So y'all can both look at me. Is it an inside joke? Are y'all laughing at me? I want to laugh, right?" Then they're gonna try to flip it up and be like, "Oh, you tripping? You this, you that, right?" So the best thing you could do is just act like you didn't see them. You know what I'm saying? Act like you didn't hear the whispers. You know what I'm saying? Act like you didn't hear them, talking shit about you on the side and then putting themselves in front of you. Just act like you didn't see it and just separate yourself from it. You get what I'm saying? That's all you could really do. When people are in an indifference with you, when people are trying to look at you or paint you out to be a certain way, all you got to do is observe it, say, okay, and then just separate yourself from it. You don't have to confront it. You don't have to ask nobody nothing about it. All you have to do is observe it, hear it. Oh, damn, I ain't know that's how y'all feel. Let me get out your way. That's what I do. I do that with friends, family, anybody. As soon as I know that you don't like, all right, you don't fuck with me, I ain't know. Because sometimes I'm friends to people that's not friends with me. Sometimes I'm cool with people that's not cool with me. Sometimes I, befriend somebody that never befriended me, right? So I know that I do this. I know that I like to joke and play. So a lot of times I open the door up to people who not looking at me the same way I'm looking at them, right? So once I realized, like, oh shit, I thought everybody was cool. I thought we was all cool. I thought we was all getting along, right? Once I realized that all right, boom, oh, my fault, let me let y'all get back to what y'all doing. I ain't mean to interrupt, you know what I'm saying? So I'll just separate. I'll do this in life because my idea is to keep my peace. And if I feel like I'm disturbing somebody else's peace, that's disturbing my peace, that I'm disturbing somebody else's peace. So I'm going to separate myself expeditiously. You're going to be like, damn, where'd he go? What happened? Why? Because I already know, like, I'm not about to sit. I'm not about to be around a group of people that's not like, come on, like the way I carry myself is like, I'm loving. Like I want to laugh. I want to joke. I want to enjoy the moment, right? But when you think that you laughing and you joking, but the people is really laughing at you, they not laughing with you. You think that you laughing and joking and getting along, they really using you as a spectacle and laughing at you. You get what I'm saying? That means your life became their entertainment. And that's that when you realize that, that's when you got to be like, damn, I ain't know it was like that. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of times people don't have discernment in this world. That's why I take, like when it comes to my feelings and emotions, I will go sit with myself so I can acknowledge the feeling and emotion that I am having, right? So I can have a conversation with myself about that feeling and emotion, right? So I can either digress or figure it out, right? Because I don't like when people play with my feelings and emotions because it's a manipulation of your intelligence, right? For somebody to come along and play with your feelings and emotions, but you got to cater to their feelings and emotions, right? Think about this. The same people that's out there playing with people's feelings and emotions, they're making other people cater feelings and emotions. And me, I'll be in my own little bubble. I'll start dancing. I know how to ignore. Like, I'll just be in my own little bubble. Like, man, look, I don't got nothing to do with none of that. Like, the reason why I do that is to separate myself from negativity. I be seeing when people bring in the negativity. I see it from a mile away. So when I see the negativity coming from a mile away, I put myself in my own little bubble, in my own little box, put a song in my head, and Millie rock. I don't give a fuck because in my mind, it's like, okay, you're looking for the problem, right? You're looking for the problem. If somebody say, okay, here's what we're going to do. And you say, okay, let's do that, right? And then you proceed to do it. And then they say, wait, I didn't say we was doing that. Yet you just said we was doing this. That's like somebody say, put this up on a window. And you say, where? You say, they say anywhere. And you put it on the window. And then they come like, not right there. Put it right here. You're like, yo, you just told me put it anywhere. So if you knew exactly where you wanted it, when I asked you where, why didn't you say exactly where you wanted it? As opposed to telling me to put it anywhere, only to come back and try to make it seem like I put it in the wrong. That's why I say people put obstacles in your way and then act like they helped you over the obstacle that they first initially put in your way. That's how fucked up this world is. People put obstacles in your way and then help you over that obstacle, and you're supposed to praise and thank them for the obstacle that they put in your way in the first place. Fighting demons. We fighting demons, people. I got to get out of here. I got to go some places. We're going to come back and go live again. I'm going to try to kick it with y'all, 3 or 4 times today. So love is love. Namaste. I say salutations. So long. Peace. And remember, the image of oneself should be greater than reality.
We gotta be ready for him. Emergency, I just got out of surgery. I'm having problems with my heart and it won't work. I did some shit in my past and it's cursing me. I'ma stay with this kid on this plastic, God take breath from me. I'm sipping this Henny, eat this pain, but it ain't helping.
My little nigga going against the grain and that's just stressing me. I pray to God that God have mercy. I'm living the crazy life.
I just shot at a nigga for talking some shit on the game, paid the price. I was young in the rush for the money, my hunger for paper and saved my life. And I should get saved tonight. If you wanna lick shit, we can get rich, we can get paid tonight. Dollar bill, y'all. Everybody want the money, everybody want this shit.
Everybody want the money, but don't wanna go down.
You'll do anything to get it, but when you gonna go out there? Shit, gotta think about it. 187. Murder by eye. You killed a nigga, you don't know him.
You gon' go to heaven.
Gotta chalk that shit over, dog. Real talk. Hey, fight my demons. So many demons.
Me against these demons.
Against these demons.
Fight my demons.
Fight my demons.
Fighting my.
It's me against these demons. Me against these demons.
Whoa.
I'm fighting these demons up in this ghost. I'm fighting these demons. I'm on the ropes. They came with a beam up under my coat.
Get hit in the spleen.
If you want to smoke,
That money be clean. I'm looking so clean. Remember they mad at me. Gave him the ball and nigga they choke.
Tables turn, that nigga you go. My little nigga don't follow no code. Follow no code, no code. My
Niggas follow me like the code.
I stand on my word and stand by the consequence. They say I'm heartless, thanks for the compliment. I seen your dead homie, yelling company. BMG gang, and bitch, we incompetent. Don't wanna hear that shit. I gotta kill that shit. Lethally militant. I can get ignorant. We not considerate. Niggas do silly shit. We get the drilling shit. Guilty and innocent.
Don't give a fuck about bystander.
I can pull up in the
Hotliner.
Don't take no slander.
Don't take no slander.
Dollar bill, y'all. Everybody want the money. Everybody want this shit.
Everybody want the money,
but
but
don't wanna go down. You'll do anything to get it, but when you gonna go down? Shit, gotta think about it.
187.
Murder by you killed a nigga, you don't know him. You gon' go to heaven. Gotta chalk that shit over, dog. Real talk. Hey.
Fight my demons.
Fight my demons.
So many demons.
Me against these demons. Against these demons. Fight my demons. Fight my demons. It's me against these demons. Me against these demons.
Yeah, see.
That my evil thoughts go unpunished.
Fight my
I
demons.
saw through the rubbish. My days of thugging get slow and ruggish. Idolize the puppets who control the public like a controlled substance. Fight my demons. Bullets in abundance, anticipating what I know is coming. All of a sudden, my past is blurring, my future is sudden. Dark and muddy, hoping for sunny, I'm still running. It's fine peace. It's fine peace. Fighting this demon.
Why do you deny me? You chose the lie created for you just to hide in. Why obsessed about surviving? Fighting over creation made for all to thrive in. When love speaks, you say you're listening. I wonder if you hear me. Love is love, love is love. Always is, always was, will always be just love. Always complete, always enough. Love is love, love is love. Always is, always was, will always be just love. Always complete, always enough. Love is love. Was your heart ever my home? So cold that chaos sits on your throne. Stuck in a loop for how long? Pride convinced the right is wrong. When I speak, you say you're listening. When will you ever hear me? Love is love, love is love. Always is, always was, will always be just love. Always complete, always enough. Love is love, love is love. Always is, always was, will always be just love. Always complete, always enough. Love is love. Was your heart ever my home? So cold that chaos sits on your throne. Stuck in a loop for how long? Your pride convinced that right is wrong. When I speak, you say you're listening? When will you ever hear me? Love is love, love is love. Always is, always was, will always be just love. Always complete, always enough. Love is love, love is love. Always is, always was, will always be just love. Always complete, always enough. Love is love.
And let's just close out with this clip right here. I think this clip says it all. This is what he was saying. Listen.
At no jumpers, nigga. I don't give a fuck. I'm gonna flatline you right here and go to jail. You gonna die right here. I smoke your ass and niggas, you gonna die at no jumpers, nigga. I don't give a fuck. I'm gonna flatline you right here and go to jail and laugh at your ass. Why you on the projector dead?
Come on, man. Come on, man. Stop playing. Stop playing. Come on.
Fuck wrong with a nigga. Dead homies, nigga. Four of them gonna blow a nigga up. Who wanna get blown up today, nigga? Fuck wrong with a nigga off the back. I'm blowing a nigga up. Stop playing CDs, nigga. I'm throwing them in your house. I'm throwing them at you, nigga. Throw them Avenue, nigga, off the back. I'm blowing your ass up.
Stop playing with me.
Stop playing with me. Everybody go check out that video. I tagged 607 Unk in it. I just put it up. I just put that short up. Everybody go comment on it. Go check it out. It's actually longer than that. It's a longer video than that. If you go look at it, I clipped two of them together. So go put a comment on that video. And just, tell me what you think about it. It just went up. Look, love is love, man. There's a lot of shit happening in this world, man. He's sitting there talking crazy. You can see him sitting there with the damn fireworks in his hand, talking crazy. I don't know if it's a stunt. I don't know if it's clout chasing, but apparently he did try some dumb shit with these damn fireworks, and now somebody's missing a face and somebody's missing a hand. So what the hell is going on? Like, you know what I mean? So yeah, y'all go do your own, what you call them on it. I know I know a lot of people are about to talk about this today, so I just wanted to get it out the way and show some clips of it. The man was walking around talking crazy with these damn fucking M80s in his hand. So I don't know. To me, it's like, better be careful, right?